marriage experience, where two have truly become one. God is at the center of us, our purpose and vision in His love. We dedicate our today, tomorrow, and always to You, our King. Bless and let there be love in our home. The marriage experience ordained by You alone. The marriage experience. The marriage experience ordained by You alone.
Welcome to the Marriage Experience program with Ayakunle and Bosade Santos, where they explore what it means to cultivate a God-centric marriage by delivering realistic and biblical wisdom, pointers, and insights from couples and individuals on the marriage journey. Join them today as they share some insights. Enjoy.
Hello again, friends. Welcome to this week's episode of the Marriage Experience program, where our conversations arm you to build thriving Christian marriages. It's ever our pleasure to be on this journey of building successful, godly marriages with you.
Indeed, welcome. It's always our delight and it's our honor, as we get to have these conversations with you every single week. It's a special welcome to you if you're tuning in for the very first time, and to our returning listeners, welcome back. And as always, we're pleased to be sharing this time with you. Remember, though this is the Marriage Experience program, it's also it's not just aired for married couples only, it's also for those who are aspiring to get married, right through to those who are 90-year veterans of marriage.
Absolutely. We did explain right at the very beginning that is why the program is called Experience, because it is
it's addressing a daily thing.
Exactly. It is addressing what you want to become, what you want to experience, and how you also want to experience it every day.
That's very true. And also, something, the principles discussed on this program are also relevant to other life relationships
Absolutely.
as well. So though it's the marriage experience, it's not just for marriages. The principles you can pick up from what we discuss on how to run a friendship with your friends, your relationships with even
siblings.
At work, siblings and all that.
Yeah.
Right. So today we're continuing with our talks on intimacy in marriage. Last week we discussed financial intimacy, where we stated, it's how couples create a shared vision and align on managing their money. And that's a reflection of the strength of their relationship. So today we'll be looking at creative intimacy. This is about both of you enjoying joint projects, or I'd say pastimes together, or whatever, if you both enjoy that. It allows you both to tap into your God-given creativity and share unique experiences together.
Artsy. I like that.
Oh, that's a big word, isn't it?
Now, when couples work together on creative undertakings, they not only express themselves artistically, but also build a deeper connection through shared vision and joint exploration. This is something that most people don't do consciously or don't even pay attention to.
Yeah.
Now, this type of intimacy builds a sense of adventure and innovation within the relationship, encouraging couples to approach life with curiosity and a willingness to explore new ideas.
This word adventure, just as you said, so I just picture the fact that, when you go on an adventure, it's what you're doing is learning something new every day. Because you're going somewhere you've never been. So everything is new.
Even if you go on a hiking trail, you're
the same trail all the time.
You're discovering that trail because it's an adventure. So we've mentioned before how we took on the novel idea of us building the decking of our home when we used to live in Scotland.
Yeah, this type of intimacy is important because it injects a sense of playfulness. It also injects a sense of freshness into the marriage, presenting a refreshing break from the daily grind, the daily, everyday, same thing every day.
Mundane
That's right.
stuff.
So when couples brainstorm future dreams, do creative things together, or take up artistic hobbies, if that's the kind of thing you like, of course, they open up avenues for both personal and relational growth. This shared creative space not only allows partners to express themselves, but also it helps them to build a dynamic partnership where they face challenges with innovation and the big word cooperation.
Cooperation.
It reminds me of Sesame Street, doesn't it? Research in relationship counseling suggests that couples who add creative activities into their routine often experience higher levels of marital satisfaction.
Now, this is something that, we see as, being established a lot in our first son's marriage. He and his wife are hands-on. They take on
That's true.
they take on all these projects
Yeah.
together, apart from running their business. They take on running these projects together. Like, if they're looking for money, for instance, they could just go and buy some rundown furniture and just build these things back up and sell this that they bought for next to nothing. They sell it at such an exorbitant price that it doesn't
Maybe healthy price.
healthy price. Well, not exorbitant, healthy price.
Yeah.
And it's so
It is encouraging.
It's very encouraging.
Yes.
And we just find it so innovative that they both do that.
Yes, so this example, what it shows and what it points out to us is that there must be wiggle room in marriages, and this wiggle room allows you to express, it creates this environment of openness to change, and of course deeper emotional bonds. It creates help. It creates the opportunity to develop deeper emotional bonds.
Apart from all that we've said just now, creative intimacy also enables couples to rediscover the excitement of collaboration and shared dreams, turning everyday challenges into opportunities for collective problem solving and renewed connection. And by celebrating successes, no matter how small, and learning from their creative endeavors, you and your spouse, you can reinforce your partnership and develop a reservoir of shared positive experiences. We don't want to be couch potatoes that all we do is just sit in front of the television and
or computers
or our phones.
Yeah, that's the new television.
Yeah,
yes.
and not really create meaningful memories or memories that have taken us outside of our own selves.
Yeah.
Now, it's this creative intimacy that it inspires us to take on new aspirations for the future, and also build strength of character. As partners, we learn to navigate life's uncertainties together. And there is the biblical how do I say it?
Scripture.
The biblical precedence. Yes,
Yes.
that's what I was looking for. The biblical precedence of Genesis 1:27, where as humans we were created in the image of God. The Bible says male and female he created them, and he created us in his image, meaning that there is this innate creative instinct within us, and it encourages us to creative intimacy encourages us to embrace that creative potential within us, and also to reflect that creativity in our relationships. And at the end of the day, developing creative intimacy not only enriches a marriage, but also provides a foundation for lasting joy and shared growth.
Now, let's look at why developing this type of intimacy is important, and not just why, how it is important. Now, when we engage in DIY projects or craft, it's a wonderful way. It's a really good way to develop creative intimacy. So I remember when we lived in Scotland, how many years ago now, we were involved in what people call flipping, that you buy old properties and renovate and then sell off. And it was a very good bonding time for us, because, as you know, there's so much involved, where you go look for the property together, you put in a bid together, you win the bid, and you start looking for builders, and it's a very lengthy process, where at the end of the day you get it sold. So it does help to build that kind of intimacy, because you work together to create something. So when couples work together to redecorate a room, for instance, or build the furniture,
Your pet peeve, painting.
or craft something unique, they not only enhance their living environment, which is a good thing. With me, when you get someone else to paint the walls, because that's the only thing I don't like. I love using my hands a lot, to enhance a living environment. Painting is not my very best thing, but also, most importantly, shares the joy of creation. This combined effort promotes teamwork. It encourages communication. It often results in cherished memories, and that becomes a part of the family's story. For instance, a couple might decide to renovate their kitchen together. One, they learn new skills along the way,
Plumbing,
whatever it is, plumbing,
being an electrician,
or painting, and they celebrate small victories as they overcome challenges. And of course, when you're going through this kind of intimacy, there will be challenges. I remember when I think it was just before Christmas, we lived in Aberdeen as well, and we decided that, let's build a permanent barbecue stand. I just gone through the process of building a decking, and I was feeling very accomplished. And when barbecue stand was nothing. I mean, after building the decking, it's just a piece of cake. And
just putting bricks together.
And yes, it was finished and everything worked out well and everything, but it was completed just before Christmas, before winter. And then it started to snow, and we thought, are we going to wait a whole 4-5 months before we can use it? And we decided to barbecue in the snow. And of course, you can imagine what the neighbors thought, that this guy's okay. I thought, why not?
Who made the rules?
Who made the rules? I mean, why must you only barbecue in the summer? Why not in winter? And you know what? That created that sense of accomplishment, that sense of togetherness, that sense of it enhanced community. It enhanced so many things, and of course made very good
breaking the mold.
Yes,
right?
and it made very good barbecues as well, which is the most important part.
Absolutely.
So this process grows a greater sense of shared accomplishment, and that's the word, shared accomplishment. And it also helps to build up relationships as well.
You're listening to the Marriage Experience program with Ayakunle and Bosade Santos.
Now, pursuing artistic hobbies like writing, painting, or playing music offers couples a creative outlet that goes beyond everyday conversation. Now, when it comes to writing, painting, that's not for my husband, I know that. But playing music, yes. And he would play the piano, I would sing along. And, we would tend to just do that just for fun. And these outlets offer, couples an outlet beyond everyday conversations. And they also provide a safe space to express emotions and ideas that may be hard to put into words alone. And whatever joint projects you and your spouse undertake, or you hope to undertake with your intending spouse someday, engage in creative activities that would deepen your emotional connection and understanding. For example, a couple might take up learning art together, or set up a small home studio where they experiment with different art forms. This is us now looking outside, something to do with your hands, maybe molding. I am into formulation, but even though my husband doesn't do the formulation with me, but he's so excited and he kind of cheers me on when I'm doing this. And he's asking questions and he wants to know, formulating body care products. Let me clear that up. So but he's always excited to use the products and also to give me feedback on how they feel on the skin, or how he's experiencing them. So when you do these things together, it not only sparks your creative side, but it also allows you to experience the vulnerability and authenticity that comes from sharing your inner world. You strengthen your bond that way.
There's something that just crossed my mind. We've been talking about creative. When we talk of creative, we're talking of writing, artistic work and all that. But you might be a couple that, to you, being creative is solving mathematical problems. You both sit down with sheets
that would
of
probably
paper.
be their intellectual intimacy.
Yeah, but being creative, they might create new mathematical equations.
Mathematical formula.
Yes. Yeah, to solve all this very difficult, developing a mathematical equation for curing cancer. Who knows? So at the end of the day, it's what is of great interest to both of you, and in that, what you're doing is creating. It's not just creating something, but also improving the bond. Like we mentioned when we discussed intellectual intimacy, you want to set aside time to discuss and picture future dreams or goals, and that's a powerful practice that we want to develop for building creative intimacy. Couples can plan a dream vacation. They can outline a business idea, or set personal growth targets together. When you brainstorm sessions like these, what it does is that it develops creativity. It helps align your aspirations, and ensures that both partners are moving in the same direction. Unity. By sharing their visions for the future, what couples then do is that they develop a deeper understanding of each other's desires and motivations, which in turn builds trust and unity. For instance, a couple might spend an evening mapping out a family vision, preparing this vision on a board, adding elements of their career ambitions, their travel dreams, and spiritual goals. And this is a practical way of addressing this. This exercise not only sparks excitement, but also creates a clear roadmap to reflect their shared commitment of fulfilling and, having that purpose-driven life together.
Yeah. So creative intimacy would also serve as a powerful tool for stress relief, and emotional renewal. And beyond building a deeper connection, engaging in creative activities together can help you see each other in a new light by discovering hidden talents, strengths, and passions. And these things would lie dormant if you don't intentionally explore your creativity, your creative side. And like I said, they will just lay there, they will go unnoticed, and your spouse won't realize that you have this strength or this passion. So it's important that you explore each other and each other's creative sides. Like we said in Genesis 1:27, because we're created in God's image and we reflect his creativity. So there's an element of creativity inside every person. We only just need to explore it. Yours could be baking, that you pull your spouse into it. Perhaps your spouse would help you. It could be even the man who loves baking, and your spouse would help you to sift the flour, just do things together that would help your bonding.
It could also be barbecuing in winter.
Barbecuing in winter. Yeah, absolutely. So this foundational truth encourages spouses, that's the one in Genesis 1:27, to embrace their creative side as a reflection. As a reflection, as a reflection of God's nature. Yes. So when you engage in creative pursuits, you not only honor the creator, but you also bring forth beauty and purpose into your marriage, inspiring one another to live out the creativity that God has already encoded within their DNA. And beyond that, you encourage people who are looking at you create this beauty to also desire the same thing. Yeah?
Absolutely. By investing in creative activities together, one other thing we've got to mention is that couples also strengthen their commitment to personal growth and lifelong learning, seeing to it that the relationship keeps evolving and stands the test of time. Now, this dynamic mirrors the creativity of God, as we said in Genesis 1:27, and it serves as a reminder that our ability to create and innovate is a reflection of our divine heritage. Our ability to create and our ability to innovate is a reflection of our divine heritage. And this further boosts a bond and deepens our spiritual connection. We read in Exodus 35 from verses 30 to 35 how God filled Bezalel with wisdom, with understanding, with knowledge, to create beautiful works of art for the tabernacle, showing that creativity is a divine gift of God. It's something that He wants us to use to glorify Him.
Absolutely. Ephesians 2:10 reminds us that we are God's handiwork or masterpiece, as some translations have it, and we are created in Christ Jesus to do good works which God prepared in advance for us to do. Now, this verse supports the truth of our creative talents being part of our divine purpose, and that engaging in creative pursuits, is also a form of worship. There's another scripture, Romans 12, verses 6 to 8, also speaks of the diversity of gifts, and it urges believers to use their different gifts, whether in prophesying, serving, teaching, or encouraging in ways that benefit others. And this parallels the idea of using creativity to build and strengthen relationships. All the scriptures encourage us as individuals and as couples to embrace our creative potential as a means of a deepening intimacy and inspiring one another and reflecting the Creator's image in our shared lives.
You're listening to the Marriage Experience program with Ayakunle and Bosade Santos.
Wow, and there we've quickly come to the end of today's episode. So let's do a quick recap before we go. Creative intimacy is an indispensable aspect of marriage, and this requires open communication, it requires shared planning, and it also requires mutual accountability. By setting joint goals, by maintaining transparency, and by committing to regular reviews, couples can build a resilient partnership grounded in trust and respect.
And as always, it's been yet another enlightening episode.
Yes, it has.
And we continue to thank God for the grace to build our homes for His glory. Remember, these different levels of intimacy or different aspects of intimacy, they are not independent. They would all work, hand in hand.
They're codependent.
They're codependent, and they're just something that, once we have our minds tuned to them, that we become intentional about developing these different aspects. They enhance our marriages, and they help us to have a fuller and more meaningful relationship, more meaningful experience of one another. So may we, as this is our prayer, that we will all be accountable with the gifts that God has given to us, and that we would use that to glorify Him and to benefit humanity in the name of Jesus.
Amen.
So as we round up today, as always, we thank you for making room for us to be a part of your marital success story.
Yes, and we air here on Heartsong Live, which is Scotland's first Christian radio station on DAB Digital, on Mondays, and we've got a replay on Wednesdays. Now, if you're listening to this program on a Monday, please stay tuned for Arise with Ella. She airs on the hour at 11 p.m. Of course, it's a replay. I mean, you're not arising at 11 p.m. And if you're listening to this on a Wednesday, you'll have What's on Your Plate with Annette on the hour. Annette runs a lifestyle magazine show that through its interview series, it takes a deep dive into the lives of people doing amazing things in their communities. So we ask you to please support the radio station so we can keep bringing you these dynamic programs such as ours to build a community of faith by spreading the good news and building faith and fellowship across the world. So visit heartsonglife.co.uk/donate to donate towards the work. Every little helps.
We appreciate your feedback on email at MXperience@lidiosantos.com. All our episodes are available on our YouTube channel with the handle at Marriage Experience. That's experience without the E. So marriage, 1 E, then Experience. Also, don't forget to download the Heartsong Live app for quick and convenient access to all our live programs, up-to-date weekly schedules, and it's also where you can catch up with programs you may have missed.
Right, so once again, it's been a pleasure spending time with you again this evening. I'm looking forward to meeting with you next time. Goodbye and God bless you.
Bye for now.
Join Ayakule and Bosade again next week on the Marriage Experience program as they bring God's truth to help you build your marriage God's way. Till then, remember, marriage is God's idea and it is a good thing.
The Marriage Experience.